And here we are at the final episode of this mini-series, episode 13. Unlucky for some, but I hope it's been lucky for you. That's a terrible dad joke. I do apologize. But let's get on. And this one, we're going to be talking about courage. Something that is essential when you are bringing someone into your team, or when you're tackling a big opportunity, or even when you're just trying to do something new. It's all about courage. One I've been thinking on a lot is courage. You know, the importance of courage. It's a top stoic value for the individual. And I truly believe in courage as a quality that we should seek and foster and develop in ourselves, but also seek in others around us. Why courage? I hear you ask, or not. Well, you know, the thing is, anybody can have a great idea. Anybody can see an opportunity, know they need to do something, but the courage to take action is so important. And that's where it actually acts on something. It's that courage of action. Will they, when an opportunity is presented, have the courage to take it, the courage to act upon it? Because we are constantly faced as humans with a series of decisions that require action, that require some type of movement. And in that movement, that first step, and maybe it's a subsequent third, fourth, and fifth, is like courage. And a team that is humble, has integrity, is assertive and resilient, and then has courage to act, that's beautiful. It really is. You just see like a wonderful, wonderful camaraderie that is developed because of it. So courage, yeah. And I mean, I could almost talk about this one at length for a long time.
So in terms of when you're looking for this person, like, is it about the execution of what those traits are? So do you look for, I might demonstrate courage in a different way to the way you would demonstrate courage, because my experience is different from your experience. And there might be a lot of people out there who are, you know, who have been constantly like put down and told, you know, not to speak, and then just speaking in a room might be an act of courage, but it wouldn't necessarily be an act of courage for someone who has been told their whole life that they need to speak up and that they should be encouraged to speak up.
It's the one action you can't fake, right? You just can't fake courage. Because no matter if I decide to stand at the top of a crane with a bungee cord around my legs and I decide to jump. Now, whether or not the person, we did it as a tandem, so you're standing next to me and I'm standing next to you. Now, whether or not I jumped and I didn't really have any fear, but I sort of yelped with, you know, joy on the way down. And then you jumped, but you jumped screaming all the way down. The fact is, we both had courage. Yeah, we had to foster and muster up that courage in different ways, but ultimately, we still did it. Both of us still kind of had an element of courage. Yes, there may be to a varying degree, but courage was there. And so you're right to observe like how much courage, like micro courage, but I would say, when I think about that observation that you're making, micro courage, small like examples of courage build to build a resilience, build a sort of store. So when we need to have courage in the right moments, it's there. That would be if I was coaching somebody, developing someone, that's what I would do. I mean, I coach under 9s football, and I'm always talking to them about courage, but that courage starts in really little small things. So like the one kid who comes on the football pitch, it may be that he just is able to come to training that day. And then in the match, it may be that she is able to like shoulder barge that one mid-sized player this time. And then the next time it might be that the goalie can stand up to that shot, and it's like kind of builds up all these little examples. And you have to observe team members and see, whose superpower is speaking. Because if they're getting up and speaking, then they don't really have too much courage. But is that person who likes to speak all the time really maybe a little bit self-conscious of their ability to do maths and spreadsheets?
Mm.
And then they put together a really cool spreadsheet. I'd be like, okay, there's some courage there. So I think what I'm saying is that it is subjective, the observation of courage. Like some ways, I mean, in terms of the importance, you may think, but the act of courage is always is always born with integrity, because it is. You can't lie about it. What was underneath before you took the courage of action doesn't really matter, as long as you took action, right?
Mm.
That's the beauty of it. It's, do you take the action, whatever that may be? And that's it, our mini-series on team building. I hope you've enjoyed it. We really enjoyed putting this together. So if you have found this insightful or helpful in any way, please give us some feedback, because we can expand this to do some other mini-series on regular questions we're asked. And well, until then, be well.